Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
What's up? What's
What
up?
do you think? Do you like all of our outfits?
Yeah? How'd we do?
Solid.
Nice.
It's called
Hey
it's called
everyone.
peer pressure. Peer pressure. I
I
logged in this
can't
morning.
see anything, but I
Yeah.
will I will lower my glasses so that I can like actually read chat, or I'll just do this, but hey everyone, thanks for watching. Um Welcome back. So obviously we have two people joining us. I know you guys have already met Dallas before, but we actually have a new team member with us today. I know some of you may have talked to him a little bit or met him when we did our level editor stream a couple of weeks ago, but I would like to let him introduce himself. So Hunter, you wanna?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here. I'm Hunter. I'm the new community coordinator on the Crystal team. I've been playing Tomb Raider games literally since I was like 7 years old, 8 years old. So I played through all the classic games. I've played through the rebooted trilogy. I love all of Lara. I'm so excited to be here engaging with you all.
Guardian of Light, Temple of Osiris. Have you gone all the
Yes.
way? Okay.
I
All
used
right.
to speedrun Guardian of Light hardcore.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
Yeah, I think you can tell in Hunter's voice like how excited he is
I
to be here.
know.
And this is actually what day two or no. Did you start on Monday? No, you
he
started on
last
Tuesday.
week.
Yeah. Well, at the office.
Oh,
So
at the office. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep,
so it's
first
been
week at the
been
office. Yep.
he
Holy
unfortunately
cow.
showed up to the office and it was like 7 people because most people are still working from home. But and then what did you just do? You just drove across the country
I did.
over
Yeah, I
here?
moved from Minneapolis here. I know no people in San Francisco. I don't know San Francisco, but the idea of being able to like work with the Tomb Raider community is just a dream, you know. So I of course I made the trek.
Yeah, we're
Amazing.
so excited.
And you now have the coolest name at Crystal. I thought I had kind of a
Right?
cool weird name, and I got nothing now. So
Yeah, he's like, how do I how do I compete with HunterWolfe?
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
No. Cool. So
So Dallas, you were watching the stream. What did
I was
you
watching
catch?
the street. No, exactly. So I turned it on this morning. I saw you all rocking the double denim, so I figured I had to kind of join it a little bit.
You just had this.
I just had it laying around, you know, the way you do. But I got to watch. My meetings didn't really start in earnest until I think you were most of the way through Paris. I think we'd done Le Serpent Rouge, we'd done the sewers. I guess the apothecary shop, and I just loved hearing all like. There is so much deep cut like things not actually included in the game stuff that I have no knowledge of,
Yeah.
and so this
Tina's
is
a great guide.
wow. So this
Yeah.
is my favorite part of watching the streams is learning all of that stuff. And then I got to tune in a little bit later to watch Ash talking with the core devs, and that's also like, oh my god, they're going to be able to tell me things that like never showed up to me as a player, and therefore like it's really cool stuff to hear.
Yeah, I thought I was watching the part of the stream when they were in Von Croy's apartment, and I didn't know about the computer and that they originally planned to have like websites that you go to in the game. That, Megan, you said it then, that would have been like way ahead of its time, but I wish they'd done that. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
solid.
there was a lot of stuff that was super ahead of its time. So evidently Dallas did not get to hear the rapping or the poems. So we're going to make sure that he gets clips to those because they were
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Awesome.
I'll just send a timestamp to like the whole Tomb Raider team, not to make you nervous, Norsk, but you know, don't worry.
Oh yeah, we will enjoy it.
They're gonna enjoy it.
psyched. Yeah. I'm also totally blind.
Awesome.
Like these are non-prescription, so I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
to actually
He's
do
got
this.
to take them off to do any reading.
Oh god.
So
Hey,
we
what's
were
up?
just going to do, now you can see us.
Yeah. So hi guys. I
We're
didn't
going to
see
do
you
just
there.
a couple of quick updates on a few things, and then we'll end with some teasers and all of that. But I wanted to give a couple of updates on my end. So, you know, we don't really have any big news or anything at the moment where, you know, we're still hard at work behind the scenes working on unifying the timelines. But one of the things we are doing is we're researching if there's ways to make it clear if something is canonical versus non-canonical. So, like the Netflix series is going to be canonical, but, the movies are kind of in their own little universe, very inspired by ours, right? So we're looking at a bunch of things like, is it just a term, or is there a logo or something like that? So we're just exploring those things, but it's a kind of a fun thing to be doing at the same side, because I know canon is very important, and we figure making that a lot clearer is important.
Yeah, and the goal obviously is like, we're trying to unify as much as possible, right? We're trying to make sure to figure out ways to be like, oh, actually that can be true and that can be true in many cases, but there are a couple things, or not just a couple of things, there are a handful of things where it's like, oh, that deserves its own notation, that deserves to be still kept and honored and all that sort of stuff, but labeled in the proper way. And there are a bunch of I guess IPs that have done stuff like this, and so that's kind of what we're trying to figure out. Is it a logo? Is it a titling system that we use to say like, this stuff belongs to the overall extended space, or this is the current canon? And so it's more complicated and less sexy and exciting than you'd think.
Yeah, this is for you, Bartosz, because I know he's always asking me if something is canon or not. So this will be helpful, I think. The other one is kind of a non-update, but I'm sorry, but I wanted to at least give something. So for the Tomb Raider Underworld DLC, we are making progress on the legal side of things, but that's the only update I can say. We haven't forgotten about it. We're still pursuing it. It's something we're really passionate about, and we'll give you updates when we can.
And folks have the general context of what the legal issue space is.
Generally, that it was on the Microsoft. Yep.
Exactly. So, yep.
Awesome. And then Dallas, Dallas actually is gonna give a bit more context into something, and I know you guys have been interested in learning more about, which is basically the shadow ending. Woo.
Yeah. So Megan said you're looking for a little bit more context on that. I guess there were sort of like references and stuff that sort of showed that we had potentially a different ending. So while Shadow was in development, we were sort of in the early stages of establishing the plans that we had for the future of the franchise after the Origin trilogy. And part of it was very much the unification of the timeline, exactly what we're talking about right now. So we actually explored a bunch of potential different endings for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, including one where Lara received a letter from Natla, sort of putting in motion the like, oh crap, Natla's back. The events the events of the original Tomb Raider. This is where we're directly going. So obviously that is a key part of the unified timeline, but we didn't want to close off opportunities between the end of SOTOR and the engagement into Tomb Raider 1, Tomb Raider 1996. To be clear, like, there's a whole lot of cool stuff that can happen in that space, some of which is going to be potentially explored by some of these other partnerships that we have out there. And so we didn't want to essentially bind ourselves in. So the upcoming Netflix animated series, right, is one of the ones that I think we've even talked about. That's kind of where it's sitting. So you're going to get to learn a lot about what happens to Lara post Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but pre Tomb Raider 1 as that piece comes together. And so if we had had the direct connection to Natla, that kind of didn't allow us the narrative freedom that we needed. So a more open-ended final scene was probably, I think, just the better choice at the time. When we finally really get it nailed down, then we will obviously drive forth with all of the unification in mind. But doing it then sort of closed a bunch of doors. I think there was also some talk of the Croft Manor DLC, right? So this was also something that we had explored as a surprise for the fans. It simply wasn't at the quality level that fans deserved when the dev team actually got pulled into working on other projects. So I've obviously only joined a couple years ago, but as we look at what we're doing next, we haven't yet found a time to allocate resources to revisit or finish that DLC. We're working on the future of the franchise, and so that's where the focus is right now. But yeah, it's a bummer when you see something that was like unfinished or referenced, you're like, oh, I want more of Croft Manor, but it just wasn't in the ship state that we need it to be, because when we put things out, we want them to be the high quality, the thing that the players all want, the things that the players deserve. So it's one of the bummers of we don't have the infinity of resources and the infinity of time, and when we focus on other things, some things that weren't done just kind of get set aside for a while.
Yeah, and so this is like a great example. Thank you so much for adding that clarity, Dallas. One of the things, this is an example of why sometimes we're not always able to give a super clear answer right away. Like, I recognize it's a couple of years after you guys were asking this question, and it's because we didn't have the news about the unified timeline out there. So it was really hard for us to give the clarity and so on that this is the reason, because we understand that seemed like a really great definitive ending, you know, her getting the letter from Natla, but it really did paint us into a corner. So like, we apologize, we weren't able to give a lot of context, but now that it was out there, I was like, hey, I think we can talk about this now. I think that we can explain to them. So I hope that does help.
Yeah, the only thing worse than giving you know a reason, right, or no reason, is giving a half reason to be like, oh, we just can't tell you why. Would have been the response there. We can't tell you why because reasons, TM, and that's even more unsatisfying and more frustrating. So yeah, we appreciate you, I guess, sticking with us as we figure out the right way to kind of unveil what we're working on.
And we also do try our hardest to ensure that things don't leak or end up in the game that you guys can discover if they're not supposed to be there, because then we feel bad because you see it and you'll get your hopes up and stuff about that. Like, if you hadn't known about the Croft manor that we were exploring, it wouldn't have been a bummer for you, right? But things happen, and you guys find everything. So
yeah,
you're great Tomb Raiders.
This is part exactly. Well done, all you Lara Crofts out there. But yeah, that's one of the things that we're trying to make sure as we work on these next things that that we even have the proper naming convention, so that even if something comes through, it doesn't immediately say, oh, this is what's coming next, right? It's a weird dance we have to do as game developers.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Dallas.
Sure.
Quickly, I just wanted to give a quick update on Legend Month. So you guys, like, AOD month has been crazy. Like, I don't know how we can ever top that, to be honest. Like,
It'll be hard.
It will be
also,
hard
your
because
your fan art has been insanely awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we do have a lot of really exciting stuff. So like, I've got all these, like, I'm digitizing all these little tapes. I actually have like a camcorder that I'm watching them on, and then digitizing them and transporting to my computer.
I should have started a counter for how many times Megan has said digitize or digitizing.
Digitize. Let's turn it into a remix.
I would say that seems like the track for our next rap, right?
I know, right?
Digitize.
Yeah, Norse needs to get on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Norris, that's your next.
Yeah,
okay.
please.
Yeah, can we get a clean one of that, just so they can be taken in?
Digitize. There we go. So we've got a bunch of stuff that's coming. Our thought process is that we're going to have just as cool of content, but we might condense it into a fewer posts rather than like posting 2 times a day, and kind of like, I think people were posting GIFs and memes about us rushing to put out AOD content because we were putting up so much so fast. We're probably going to condense things into like cooler posts that are more in them, but, you know, less frequent. So we'll still do things probably every day, but you know, we'll combine things into videos. And we do have Tina Tronete on the hook for helping me make more videos, because she's amazing, and I'm going to keep hiring her if I can. So so that's just a little update on that. And then we are going to have 2 pieces of art this month. We will have anniversary art at the beginning of the month, and then at the end of the month we will have legend art. So Neha is going to do a quick teaser of the anniversary art.
So since you guys loved Brennock, our art director, since you guys loved the first reimagined art so much, he actually had like a initial like mock-up comp that he did, and he decided to evolve that more for anniversary as a treat for you guys. So I am going to show you a teaser of that. So this is a teaser of the anniversary art, which we will be releasing this coming month. So,
and I think this is still work in progress at this point, but it's Bren. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, it's Bren, but it's still being polished. You know, there's still, so this is not in its final form, as you would say.
I want to be clear. This is the first time I've seen this, by the way. So I'm interested to see what this looks like.
I can pass you the full version of this on the side, you know, but yeah.
You'll get to see it.
Hurrah.
But
yeah,
I would love
pretty
to see.
Awesome.
I'd love to see you guys speculate what's going on over here, because, you know, I cropped this very specifically.
I can see that some of their favorite characters are in it, though. I think they can tell.
All right, so yeah, that's
Awesome.
So that is the teaser for the anniversary art. It is going away.
All right, and then we did have one thing left we wanted to sign off with, which is we have an amazing video that just kind of throws in everything in the kitchen sink, everything left that we had from Angel of Darkness month. That's not true. I mean, we just uploaded like 200 design documents, and I think we still have more things we're finding. But so a huge thank you to Tina Trinite and Bob Smolders, who have been helping convert a lot of these Maya files and things that we couldn't use, me especially because I'm a Luddite. And they've been turning them into like actual usable files, and we've been finding such cool stuff. And then Tina put this video together, and it's phenomenal. And so we hope you guys are gonna enjoy it. We're gonna sign off with that. We won't a Luddick, you mean? I see what you did there. We're just gonna sign off now and then close with this video, and we'll put it live in public after this. So we hope you guys love this month, and we can't wait to do more with you.
So stay tuned. Anniversary art. There will still be legend art also, and I think Megan and I need to plan like 2 streams because we're gonna do an anniversary stream and a legend stream, I think. So
We are.
lots to do. So I'm gonna play a video, but we're saying bye now, and then if you guys want to vibe afterwards, I have a music track in our closing window that will be by Dean Copri, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. So, but we will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. Dallas, Hunter, thanks for hanging out with us. And,
See you guys.
Thanks
Thank you.
for joining.
We'll see you guys next time. So I'm gonna mute us.
Bye-bye. I'm so glad Neha knows how to do this stuff.
Because you're a Luddick.
Because I'm a Luddick. I love that.
That was so good.
No, you don't understand. I'm not one of them. I never touched that stuff. But they got me anyway. I don't feel too good.